everybody. My name is Paul Sun. I'm the president and CEO of Eminent Gold Corp, and we're pursuing major gold discoveries in the Great Basin. Of course, I'll be making some forward-looking statements, so please keep that in mind as we go through the presentation. So I'm a past mining banker, and I'm a trained mining engineer, and I've seen my fair share of gold exploration stories. So when I look at what we've put together at Eminent, I think it ticks all the boxes on what an investor would look for when investing in a gold exploration story. You're getting 4 high-impact gold projects in Nevada, and as most people know, Nevada's ranked as one of the best jurisdictions for gold exploration and development in the world. You're getting a portfolio driven by new concepts and fresh perspectives. Sometimes I hear, okay, Nevada's found a lot of gold, but hasn't it already been found? And the reality is, that's not the case. So you'll hear in our presentation that we have a lot of projects that are very new. You're getting a strong multidisciplinary team that have found gold before twice, as a matter of fact. That means gold has been found, and as a result, shareholder value has been created. So when I step back and think about what we've created here, I think it's one of the best things that I've seen in my career over the last 20 years. So as I mentioned, I'm a capital markets guy by background, as well as a trained mining engineer. The real gem of the story is Dan McCoy. He's a PhD geologist. He's found 5 million ounces of gold in West Africa. He also found gold in Mexico, and that company got sold to Agnico as a result. We have Martin Bajic, our CFO. He's a public market CFO with over a decade of experience. Aside from myself and Dan on the board, we have Ann Carpenter, who comes to us with over 35 years of experience. She's got a deep Rolodex of contacts in the Southwest US. And like myself, professional engineer Michael Koswan comes to us from Sprott Resources, where he was a high-powered broker, so a deep Rolodex of investor contacts. I like to joke when we talk about our technical team, what's better than one PhD geologist? In our company, we actually have 3. Under Dan's leadership, we have Ajit Milliard, who actually came to us with the Hot Springs Range project, our flagship. She comes to us with over 10 years of experience from Newmont. She did her dissertation literally on Carlin-style deposits, which of course are native to Nevada. We have Mark Coolbaugh with over 40 years of experience. He's literally worked on, I think, pretty much every continent in the world. And we have Luke Schranz, over 5 years of experience, most recently with Hecla in the Great Basin. And then finally, but not least, we have Jim Slayton. He's been Dan's right-hand man through the Keegan and Caden days, made a lot of discoveries and over 35 years of experience. So when I look at this exploration team, I have to think it's a dream team in any company. But the fact that these guys are all based in Nevada, on a Nevada-focused portfolio, I don't think it gets better than that. So starting with our portfolio, starting at the top, our Hot Springs Range project, as mentioned, this is our flagship. It's a direct analog to the Getchell trend, which is a 42 million ounce trend. On one side, a bunch of prolific mines. On the other, it's never been explored, which is where we're at. Then we have Weepah and Gilbert South, 2 projects that are in the prolific Walker Lane trend that have produced over 80 million ounces in their history. And finally, we have Spanish Moon, which is a direct analog to Kinross's Round Mountain mine. So as mentioned, Hot Springs, world-class potential, 15 kilometers away from a 42 million ounce trend, never been explored. We're going to be drilling this in early 23, and this could change the face of Nevada. So showing you the proximity here, on one side of the Getchell trend and the Battle Mountain intersection, you have Turquoise Ridge and Twin Creeks mines, collectively have produced just under 20 million ounces of gold. On the other side is where we are, not one drill hole. You'd think it would be a pincushion from exploration, but Ajit was smart enough to come in and figure this out. So she did a bunch of work, starting with geochemistry, and what we've lined up here is on one side, Hot Springs, and on the other, the 2 prolific mines. If you look at the geochemistry results, you'll see that our numbers stack up as good or better than that of Getchell. So that ticks the box. So the next thing was to prove that there was structure there. So we did geophysics, and lo and behold, it's analogous to those mines on the other side. You're having deep feeder structures bringing mineralization from depth, getting trapped by shallow thrust faults, creating a great environment for gold deposition. The reason why I think it wasn't ever explored is because there's a shallow post-mineral cover on top of it. So as mentioned in summary, it's parallel to the Getchell trend, never been explored, better geochem, structural analogously to the Getchell trend, drilling in a few months. Moving on to Weepah on the other side of the scale, this is the oldest open pit in Nevada's history. It's produced just under 120,000 ounces of gold. Eminent came in here for the first time and consolidated this area as a district. You can see this is the pit wall. You can see that we've done samples 50 grams per ton, 60 grams per ton. Historically, the drilling was this Weepah shear zone, and our technical team came in and discovered the central pediment fault, which is the blue banding coming across. And we think that the orientation of the drilling historically was incorrect. So when you look at this diagram here, you have the west pit on one side, the east pit, or the east zone, which has been drilled before, and there's basically just under 2 kilometers of strike in between that. So we think there's high-grade mineralization there. We're going to be drilling that in 2023 as well. We're permitted to drill that as well. We also found this kind of boomerang shape. You can see the two faults there where there's shallow pediment, and we're getting high pathfinder minerals, arsenic anomalies there. So we'll be drilling that as well to see if there's mineralization below there. So this is quite exciting for Weepah. Moving on to Gilbert South, you can see this is also a multi-kilometer package. We've identified multiple target zones, the Pretty Boy, the eastbounding fault, and the Bighorn. We're just under Hecla. There's been some historical drilling up to 2 grams per ton there. Our team came in, did a bunch of sampling. We're getting samples up to 31 grams per ton. To give you a sense of what we think it is, we're seeing outcropping at surface, and we're seeing, or we think, that there's a bonanza grade feeding those structures above. So once again, we had to do the geophysics to see if the structure was there to support a system. Once again, exactly where our geos targeted, you can see the 3 anomalies matched up nicely with the geophysics. And again, we are permitted, and we'll be drilling this in later 23. Moving on to our final project, Spanish Moon. This is quite exciting in that we came in and consolidated this area as a district. You can see on one side of the Pluton, Kinross's Round Mountain mine produced over 23 million ounces of gold. On the other side, similar to Hot Springs, a blind target which has never been explored before. This is our entire land package, just under 7 kilometers in strike. Starting at the south, we have the Barcelona mine, which is a high-grade past-producing silver mine. Then move up to Antone Canyon. There's been historical drilling there, but never production. The last drill hole there is 13.5 meters at 7.65 grams per ton. Now moving up to Meadow Canyon, which is where we spent our most recent work. We just put out geophysics on that. It's very exciting. I'll show you a picture of Round Mountain. For those that don't know, it's a big open pit. And what we look for always when we're looking for potential deposits is size. And you can see here we've stacked up a plan map of Meadow Canyon on the left with Round Mountain on the right. And you can see the structural and topographic margins are basically the same distance apart as that of Round Mountain. So we did the geophysics, and once again, we're ecstatic that our targets that we did already on surface before we did the geophysics line up perfectly. You see the 3 targets there. We're going through a plan of operation, and that one will be ready to drill in 24. Here's a quick snapshot of our cap structure. We're very proud of it. Only just under 45 million shares outstanding, so very tightly held. You can see that just over 50% of the company is held by insiders and technical personnel, with the balance being gold-focused retail. So it's going to be an exciting year for Eminent in 23. You're getting 4 projects that are going to be drilled consecutively over the next 18 months. They're all new concepts, but all have analogies to existing world-class mines. And again, we'll be drilling in the next few months. Hot Springs will be the first one to go. So you guys may have seen this. It's the Pierre Lassonde curve. I always like to show this just to remind people that the biggest bang for a shareholder's buck is when a company makes a discovery. And we're drilling and gonna hopefully make a few discoveries this year. And that's where you get your biggest bang for your buck as a shareholder.